A prince among us. Introducing Yahyah Ben Rabbi. Yahyah Ben Rabbi was no ordinary man. He was a prince, a scholar, and a leader. His lineage traced back to the very heart of ancient Israel. Ben Rabbi was a direct descendant of King David. This royal heritage made him a figure of great respect and reverence. Ben Rabbi lived during a tumultuous period in history. It was the late 15th century. Jews in the Iberian Peninsula faced growing persecution. This persecution ultimately culminated in their expulsion from Spain and Portugal. Ben Rabbi's story is one of resilience and adaptation. He and his people were forced to flee their homes. They sought refuge in new lands. Yahyah and his descendants were given the cognomen Negro. Yahyah was given the name Lord of the Negroes and was granted an estate with the Moors in the village of the Negroes. The place where his descendants went to in West Africa was called Negroland, according to old maps. Their journey would have a profound impact on the course of history. It is a story that continues to resonate centuries later, particularly within the African American community. Shifting sands Jewish life in medieval Iberia. For centuries, Jews had been an integral part of the Iberian Peninsula. They lived alongside their Christian and Muslim neighbors. Their contributions to society were significant. Jews excelled in fields like medicine, finance, and scholarship. However, this period of relative tolerance began to crumble in the late 14th century. The rise of Spanish nationalism fueled religious intolerance. This led to violence and discrimination against Jewish communities. The situation reached a boiling point in 1492. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain issued the Alhambra Decree. This infamous edict ordered the expulsion of all Jews from Spain who refused to convert to Christianity. Exile and Exodus, the journey to West Africa. Faced with this stark choice, conversion or exile, many Jews chose to leave their ancestral homeland. They embarked on perilous journeys to seek refuge in more tolerant lands. Among these refugees was Yahyah Ben Rabbi and his followers. They set their sights on West Africa. It was a region known for its established Jewish communities and relative religious freedom. The arrival of these Sephardic Jews enriched the cultural and religious landscape of West Africa. They brought with them their traditions, knowledge, and skills. They integrated into existing communities. They also established new settlements along the coast and in the interior. A bridge across the Atlantic, the transatlantic slave trade. At the same time that Jewish communities were finding refuge in West Africa, a dark chapter in human history was unfolding: the transatlantic slave trade. This brutal system of forced migration saw millions of Africans torn from their homes and transported across the Atlantic to labor in the Americas. The trade routes of the transatlantic slave trade intersected with the regions where Sephardic Jews had settled. This meant that among those caught in the web of slavery were individuals who may have carried within their lineage the heritage of Yahyah Ben Rabbi and his people. This tragic convergence of history, the expulsion of Jews from Iberia, their migration to West Africa, and the rise of the transatlantic slave trade, laid the groundwork for a fascinating hypothesis. This hypothesis suggests a potential connection between African Americans and the royal lineage of King David through Yahyah Ben Rabbi. Section 5. Seeds of a Lineage, Connecting the Threads. The hypothesis that links African Americans to Yahyah Ben Rabbi and King David is rooted in the complex historical tapestry of the 15th and 16th centuries. It acknowledges the presence of Sephardic Jews in West Africa during the transatlantic slave trade. It also recognizes the potential for intermarriage and cultural exchange between these communities and the indigenous African populations. While direct genealogical evidence is challenging to establish due to the nature of record-keeping during this period, circumstantial evidence and oral histories within certain African American families provide intriguing clues. Some families have passed down stories through generations. These stories speak of ancestors who held Jewish customs or who came from areas associated with Sephardic Jewish settlements in Africa. This hypothesis, while still under exploration, offers a compelling narrative that intertwines the histories of different peoples and continents. It highlights the far-reaching impact of events like the expulsion of Jews from Iberia and the transatlantic slave trade, demonstrating how seemingly disparate historical threads can be woven together. Section 6. Echoes in Scripture and Stone, Tracing the Ancestry. The hypothesis of a connection between African Americans and King David finds further resonance within biblical and historical sources. The Bible itself speaks of the dispersion of the tribes of Israel, scattering them across the globe. Historical records document the presence of Jewish communities in various parts of Africa, including Ethiopia and West Africa, long before the arrival of Sephardic Jews in the 15th century. These communities, known as Beta Israel and Igbo Jews respectively, have maintained their own unique traditions and beliefs, while also sharing commonalities with other Jewish groups. The existence of these diverse Jewish communities in Africa, along with the historical evidence of Sephardic Jewish migration to the continent, lends credence to the idea that the lineage of Yahyah Ben Rabbi and King David could have found its way into the ancestry of some African Americans. Section 7. A Shared Heritage, the Implications for African Americans Today. The possibility of a connection to Yahyah Ben Rabbi and King David holds profound implications for the African American community. It adds another layer to the rich tapestry of their heritage. It also provides a link to a lineage that stretches back to the very roots of monotheism and Western civilization. This connection, if further substantiated, could serve as a source of pride and inspiration for African Americans. It highlights the resilience and adaptability of their ancestors, who navigated the complexities of history while preserving their cultural and spiritual identities. Furthermore, it underscores the interconnectedness of human history, demonstrating how seemingly disparate cultures and lineages can be intertwined in unexpected ways. Section 8. A Call to Exploration, Embracing the Past, Shaping the Future. The hypothesis exploring the connection between African Americans and Yahyah Ben Rabbi is not without its complexities and nuances. It requires further research and critical examination. Genealogical testing, historical analysis, and cultural studies can all contribute to a deeper understanding of this potential link. This exploration is not just about uncovering the past, it's about shaping the future. By embracing the fullness of their heritage, African Americans can gain a deeper appreciation for their own resilience and the interconnectedness of humanity. This journey of discovery is an invitation to challenge conventional narratives, to ask difficult questions, and to embrace the richness and complexity of human history. Section 9. Conclusion: A Tapestry of Identity. The story of Yahyah Ben Rabbi, a descendant of King David who sought refuge in West Africa, is a testament to the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. It is a story that intertwines with the transatlantic slave trade and the African American experience, offering a tantalizing glimpse into a potential shared heritage. While further research is needed to fully unravel this historical puzzle, the exploration itself is a testament to the power of curiosity, the importance of embracing our collective past, and the potential for uncovering hidden connections that bind us together as human beings. The tapestry of human identity is vast and intricate, woven together by threads of migration, cultural exchange, and shared experiences. By continuing to explore these threads, we gain a richer understanding of ourselves, our history, and the interconnectedness of humanity.